Hi Libra, welcome to your May 2021 Astrological Forecast. I'd like to take this time to remind you to subscribe to my channel, check out my Ask Me a Question, and there's also a link to my website if you would like to have your personal chart done. They're both in the description section below. And check out my weekly forecast. So the month starts off with the sun in Taurus. There's also a new moon in Taurus on the 11th. And where you have Taurus in your chart is your 8th house. Okay, you know the planet Uranus has been transiting here for a few years and will be here for a few more years. So having the sun here up until like the 19th, Venus and Mercury are here just like the very first few days of May, but they were here again actually in April, right? So any kind of activity you had would have started then in this area. Your 8th house is a money house. It's shared resources, shared debt even, with a partner possibly, or just anyone in general, but it's a money house. It's other people's money, other people's resources. This is the house of inheritances and legacies, any kind of insurance or legal payouts, settlements, okay? Credit, increasing credit even, or fluctuating in some way or other. But it's credit cards, bank accounts, anything. So having the planet Uranus here always brings a bit of unpredictability in this area of your life. Okay, this is also the house of taxes, any kind of taxes, but this is the house of like the IRS even, or a bank or institution or somebody like that. Okay, so you might have like a little bit more contact with these kind of places than you would normally expect to. Okay. There's a new moon here on the 11th, which brings possibly a new a beginning in some area of one of the places that I just mentioned. Maybe if you do share property with someone else, or even share a bank account or credit cards or something like that, you could have some kind of new arrangement or understanding, or even quit, or split whatever it is that you own together, or buy each other out, or let the one have it and the other one get something else, or whatever, some kind of new arrangement as far as jointly held stuff goes. As far as any kind of inheritance or legacy of some kind, maybe this is the day that you actually receive it. You could have already known about something like this that was coming your way, or this could be like a totally out of the blue, very sudden surprise for you. If it's not an inheritance, it could just be someone giving you something, gifting you something with something that they own even. But it could be something kind of different, something, a little bit different, okay? The sun moves into Gemini on the 20th, but Mercury here moves here on the 3rd, and Venus moves here on the 8th into Gemini. So you'll have all these three planets in your 9th house. That's where you have the sign of Gemini. And your 9th house is a big travel house, big travel and communication house, but it's more like long distance travel. Okay, sometimes it's foreign travel to another country or something like that, but it could be just long distance travel or communications. Okay, or just contact with somebody, possibly that you haven't been in contact with for a very long time. There's a full moon lunar eclipse actually in the sign of Sagittarius, and where you have Sagittarius in your chart is your 3rd house. This occurs on the 26th, and it's directly across from your 9th house, excuse me, of Gemini. So both of these are communication and travel houses. So I would have to say that around that full moon, you may receive some kind of long distance communication that could be maybe a little upsetting to you, some kind of news. The ninth house is also the house of legal matters. Maybe you receive information around that time regarding a settlement even, okay? Or, you know, some kind of lawsuit that you may be involved in, or any kind of legal matter, though. But the legal matter may have something to do with property. Your property, your home, or property that is yours or should be yours or something or other, okay? Whatever, okay? But having, like, all these planets in your ninth house turns your mind towards like learning. It's the house of higher learning. If you were just bored out of your mind or something, you may decide to take up some kind of interest in, you know, even if it's just reading about whatever subject you're interested in. You know, if you're unable to travel, you might travel with your mind in some way or other. But you could even find yourself at your library, a place that maybe you haven't been to for a very, very long time. But you just have this idea that like the ninth house is the house of exploring or adventure even. And maybe that's what you need right now in your life. And that's what you're looking for, even if you're unable to get out there and pursue these things physically. You can do them mentally, and you probably will engage in something or other. But you could be actually traveling, okay? Because this is the big house of travel. Mars is in Cancer, where you have Cancer in your chart is your 10th house of your career and your outer public persona, your how you're known by reputation, professionally and personally. Having Mars here makes you go after, let's say, a better position as far as your career goes. You're looking for a more prominent position. You may be in competition with someone right now for a better position or for some kind of an award that you are up for, and maybe someone else is also. Mars, no matter where it's transiting, gives you tons of activity and energy to pursue something that's personally important to you. Okay, Mars is the ego planet. So you are currently, not all the time, but currently identifying with whatever it is that you do for a living, okay, and how you're known by reputation. And if you learn that people are unaware of, you know, your past even, or your what you do for a livelihood, or even if you're retired or don't work at all, what you used to do, or anything about you that you're proud of, you know, this would be the time that you would let the world know all these really nice things about yourself. Okay, but publicly, you know, you may have to correct people or correct someone on something that is about you that just is like a halfway, like a truth, but it isn't. They got it all wrong. At this time, see, okay, the planet Pluto is in Capricorn. Where you have Capricorn in your chart is your 4th house of your personal life and your family life, your childhood, how you were raised, all that stuff. Well, it turned retrograde at the end of April. Okay, it's directly across from your 10th house of Cancer, where you have Mars right now. So you may be finding out that someone is possibly talking about your background or something. They're totally incorrect, or only have bits and pieces of, you know, what is true, and how you were raised, even your culture, something about you or other. So this is when you would correct this person or whatever. Okay, this is the best time to make all kinds of corrections. Okay, the planet Saturn turns retrograde on the 23rd. Saturn is in Aquarius in your 5th house. That's where you have the sign of Aquarius. Jupiter is also there most of the time now. It's also in Aquarius, but it is briefly moving into Pisces on the 13th. Okay, but for now, this having Saturn in your 5th house of romance, okay, and creativity and fun and humor and sports, gambling, speculation, anything like that, having Saturn here kind of puts a little bit of sobriety on all of these things. Okay, your idea of fun may have have a real damper in your life. It could be a person or just some kind of responsibility. Could even be a child, because this is the house of children, that is putting a bit of a damper on your life. You know, curbing your ability even to have fun. But you might not even be in the mood to have fun. You might be one of those people that are tired of it all. You're tired of doing the same thing, going to the same places with the same people, blah, 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 you know. But having Jupiter here kind of opened up new opportunities in this area also. But when it's leaving, now you're just going to have this Saturn here, and you're reviewing. When it turns retrograde, you're reviewing all these things. Like if you're romantically involved with someone right now, you may discover that you're bored out of your mind. What are you doing with them? You know, they're not even like fun. So, or you may be involved with somebody who just always points out your I don't want to say your mistakes, but things that they don't like that you're doing. You know, whatever. They're just a real drag on you. Period. So you may have like an aha moment when this planet turns retrograde, like, what am I doing with this person? And that's also involved in a creative project. You know, you're like, why am I'm doing all the work, you know, why am I collaborating with someone when it's mine anyway, you know, and they're not really doing anything. So it's just a time for a review, that's all. But when Jupiter does move into Pisces, it'll move into your 6th house. That's where you have the sign of Pisces. Planet Neptune is already here transiting. Okay, so Jupiter will briefly be in Pisces from May 13th to July 28th. Then we'll move back into Aquarius, into your 5th house, then move fully through Aquarius to December. And then at the end of December, it will finally move into Pisces and then into next year. Okay, so having it briefly, though, in your 6th house does bring possibly a new coworker into your place of employment, a new boss, new policies, new schedule. If you were having any kind of health problems, this is when they more than likely will be taken care of, but possibly something pretty new, new way of doing something as far as your health goes, you know, regarding your health. You I would have to say get some pretty good news. It's not like earth-shaking, but it's good news. So anything, no matter how small it is good news. Okay, but you may have like even new opportunities to expand the kind of work that you do. Okay, it could be something that you've always wanted to do. You know, you do it for enjoyment or for fun, and it's just like a side project for you. But you may have created something even that people really like and may possibly demand in the future. So maybe this is going to be like your side job that possibly may become a full-time your career. Okay, the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Libra on the 22nd and 23rd. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Aries, and those dates are the 7th, 8th, and 9th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, any kind of gambling or speculation, and anything to do with children is the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 30th, and 31st. The best time for money is the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 24th, and 25th. The best time for your career is the 15th, 16th, and 17th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 12th, 13th, 14th, 26th, and 27th. So I hope you enjoyed your astrological forecast for May. Check out my weekly forecast, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next week. Goodbye.